Hello, my friends. This is Andy coming to you live from Orange County, California. And I wanted to come on and begin the discussion of why anyone would go live streaming. And that is to broadcast live about your life, about a book you're promoting, about your book, about maybe a restaurant you own. And I want to dive in here a little bit because I've been working on a project, as many of you may have seen over the last couple months or so, on and off because of COVID related stuff and everything else, that I've been putting this product together. It is a 3-stage product, basic, intermediate, and advanced, on how to go live using a product called StreamYard. And I'm going to get into a little bit more about StreamYard, but really you can go live on a couple other platforms too. I just happen to love StreamYard. I've used just about all of the live streaming platforms like BeLive, Zoom, Blue Jeans, ManyCam, Ecamm, and I could go on. I've probably used a few more that I can't even think of. Back in the day, before there was Facebook Live, I used something called Meerkat and Blab and Periscope, which is now owned by Twitter. And so I've put a lot of time and effort into live streaming and seen the good and the bad in regard to not only live streaming platform, but the tools that go along live streaming. So what I wanted to do, at least through these live broadcasts, wherever you're watching this, because I'm broadcasting on 5 different Facebook platforms, YouTube and Twitter right now. And some of them are private groups I'm broadcasting in. You may have noticed that you have to accept the ability for Facebook to share your name and picture for your profile if you're in a private group. So make sure and do that, so I know that you're who you are when you're commenting. You may be watching this on a business page, and you may be watching this on my personal page on Facebook, and again on Twitter using Periscope and YouTube. And I want to just, at least right now on this is going to be, I would say, the launching live broadcast for the training, for helping you go live and understanding why it is that maybe even you should go live. You say, I don't have a book, I don't have an online training program, I'm not a coach, a business coach or a personal coach. Why would I go live using one of these platforms? I can't see the purpose for doing that. Well, I hope to give you a purpose, because everybody has something that they need to share with the world. Honestly, quite honestly, I've helped, I think we're now, between Everett and I, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 people write a book, become #1 best-selling authors on many platforms. And our Business Accelerator group, which I'll talk about in just a little bit, is a mastermind group that Everett and I and Verlinda Thompson run, where we have book publishers who have also helped hundreds of people launch their books. And so between all of us in the mastermind group, it's in the thousands of people that have written all types of books. And I can tell you that I've seen some what I thought were absurd subject matter in books, and they turned out to be actually not absurd. Hugely successful books on stuff like, who would read a book on that subject matter? I think one of them was like on HUD or something like that. Another one was on roads across America, and it had to do with the building of roads from a road builder perspective, I think it was. And I can't remember all the details. The book went incredibly well in regard to a #1 bestseller, and then led to speaking opportunities for the author and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I am telling you, I've seen it all in regard to authorship, but that also goes right hand in hand with live streaming. In the meantime, if you wouldn't mind commenting wherever you're watching from, even if you have not given Facebook permission to use your name and a picture on your profile, please comment. Let me know you're watching. Let me know what it is that you want to learn about live streaming, or if there's any, if I have any thoughts on a subject that you may be throwing around as to whether you should be live streaming or not. I just subscribed to a guy who does a live broadcast on kayaking. And it is a great live broadcast that he does on kayaking. He almost goes live every day. Like, you would think that you would run out of ideas when it comes to kayaking. But again, I'm telling you that I have seen it all. Fishing, huge live broadcasting. So that's what I want to talk about this, or talk at least up to this point. I'm gonna share with you a couple things in this broadcast that are just gonna give you an overview some of the things we'll be talking about over the next several weeks and months as I come on about once a week to share something new, or a new idea, or a method or a tool that I think that you should know about as we're going forward on these broadcasts. Now, understand, the first thing I want to let you know in regard to going live on any platform, again, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, Twitch, any one of those platforms, there's going to be some other ones coming up. Rumble's going to be having a live streaming. LinkedIn has the ability to go live. I could actually go live on LinkedIn if I had permission to go live on LinkedIn. You have to apply for the ability to go live. I know that Instagram has the ability to go live. TikTok has the ability to go live once you get a number of followers, and so on and so forth. So there's a number of platforms where live broadcasting, in addition to the ones I'm going live on right now, which again is Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm currently not on Twitch because I just ran out of options on this particular one. Hey, Rich, nice to see you. Hey, what about entering the market that's already crowded? What about entering the market that's already crowded? That doesn't matter. I launched a very successful career in dog training. If you don't think dog training is crowded, you got another thing coming. Just in my city alone, I know of, and I live in a small city. In my small city, there's probably 15 dog trainers that I had to compete with. And simply, you just need to be better, number one, and you just need to have a vehicle of getting your message out there and showing everybody what you got. And the other thing I've learned is not putting down the other dog trainers. That's a really important thing. And I'm just going to visit dog training here, and because Rich brought up the question, and that is, what about entering the market that's already crowded, and being a marketing expert, or a book a publishing expert, or what have you. Those are all pretty crowded, but dog training is really crowded. I can tell you that right now, Rich. And so I do have some personal experience in that. The thing that set me apart from most of the dog trainers in the world is that as soon as I could, I wrote a book and became a number one best-selling author. I used that book to get speaking engagements at dog rescue events, at things like Pet Expo, and we had one here in Orange County, Pet Expo, where I was able to parlay my number one best-selling status and some of the work I've done as far as speaking engagements to put on a show every year at the same Pet Expo. I put on 7 shows at the Pet Expo. So again, you're just going to use your ability to speak and what it is that you have as your niche or your personality or whatever it is that sets you apart. There's got to be something, right? There's got to be that one thing that kind of sets you apart, whatever that may be. I happen to make up a couple things like training your dog with love and respect, which I never found anybody else that's doing the same thing. Now, I've seen some videos where people are somewhat copying what I have done in the dog training world, especially locally. But again, in the beginning, I was really the only one talking about training your dog with love and respect. And that went hand in hand with what many couples know of is a book called Love and Respect, which they give you when you're going through troubles as a married couple. But what I found is when I read that book, it fit perfectly in the dog training. So I'm just giving you an example of how I found something that kind of set me apart, that gave me something to talk about that nobody else was talking about. So finding that thing is really important. And then having the ability to go live and live streaming is really important. And so thank you for that question, Rich. That was a really good question. So let me talk about, as I pan back here, if I show you this view here, you're going to see a lot of wires. You see a Rodecaster here, which you heard the music from. My mics are hooked up to the Rodecaster. I have a laptop computer. I have a ring light. I have a tripod that's holding what would also hold an iPad that I could use for a teleprompter if I wanted to, but right now it's not in there. You can see that I'm using another camera angle, that kind of stuff. I don't want you to be intimidated or to think that is what you need to go live. You don't need all this stuff. I like all this stuff because I'm kind of a gadget kind of guy. I do like having a whole bunch of gadgets and testing them out and see how they work. And I like to be able to share things easily as far as other videos and music and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I've added a whole bunch of stuff. But when you're getting started, you don't need all that stuff. All you need is this. And that is a selfie stick. You can see that I'm broadcasting from my phone right now. That you just need a selfie stick or a tripod to put your phone on, and that is all you need. and I'm going to change. I'll change the angle here so that you can see me. But this is my phone, so I'm able to broadcast. You're going to see there's a little delay, but that's okay. This is just an example of what it is you can do with your phone, and you can see the picture that is coming off my phone is fantastic. It's an iPhone 11 Pro something. I forget what they called this phone, but it's shoot, I forgot the name of it. But I'm using the forward-facing camera. The forward-facing camera is, oops, so sorry. Let me go back to this angle. Sorry about that. Is this one here. This is forward-facing, and this is the back-facing. Now, understand the forward-facing camera, depending on what you're using. If you're using StreamYard, it corrects the words so they're not backwards. If you are not going to use StreamYard, understand that if you're using the Facebook app, unless you change the settings on your phone, the words will be backwards. So let me go ahead and go back to my phone, and I'll show you what I mean. If you've ever noticed somebody that uses their phone and goes live using their forward-facing camera, the words are backwards. But I'm using StreamYard on my phone, and this is the reason why I like StreamYard. But you can see that sign right there. It is the way it's supposed to be. It's not backwards, and that is because I'm using StreamYard. If you are using the app on your phone for Facebook, quite often it has things backwards. So if you've ever watched somebody and you're saying, how come their camera is backwards, or how come the words are backwards? It's because they're using their forward-facing camera. If you use the other side, then the words will not be backwards. In that case, you would probably be best having somebody operating the phone for you, to making sure that you stay within frame if you're moving around and that kind of stuff. So the reason I wanted to show you the phone is so that you understood that you don't need all the stuff that you see here, right? You see all this, the spaghetti of wires. Half those wires are not even plugged in. They are other tools that I could plug in at a moment's notice if I want to change something. You can see there's another mic that's way over here. This mic right over there, that's another Rode mic that I used to use. I'm now connecting these mics right here. As you can see, this one right here is connected directly into my Rodecaster. What I'll do is I will take my phone shot, and I'll show you the Rodecaster that I have here. But again, this is an advanced setup, and you don't need all this stuff. But this controls my 2 mics. You can actually plug in 4 mics into this Rodecaster. You can see I have the second mic. I have it muted right here. If I want to play some music, I just hit this button here. Here, watch this. And that's the music. And here is the laugh track. There you go. And so that Rodecaster is something that you'll want to use maybe at another time. But going back to my point is, you don't need a whole bunch of gadgets and a whole bunch of spaghetti and wires and mics and that kind of stuff to go live. You just need your phone and just get started going live. That's really all you need. The other camera that you see over here is coming from my desktop on what I call my teaching desk, is where I do a lot of the teaching. And you'll see once you get into the platform called live streaming on StreamYard, you'll see I do a lot of my training from that particular camera or that particular computer. It's a separate computer that has a 920, a Logitech 920 camera on it. The one I'm using here in front of me is called a Brio, and that is a 4K camera that has a pretty nice picture. All right, Epic Cam app. No, I can if I were to go to, but it's not Epic Cam. It's called ManyCam. So if I go to ManyCam, let me see if it's set up here. I'm not sure what I have on there. Let me just make sure to see what I got going on. No, nothing. I have nothing set up, so you wouldn't really see much of a difference. If I go to my ManyCam, let me see if I can do this here on the fly. I think it'll let you do that. I've never done it on the fly, funny enough. So this is ManyCam. So that is a virtual camera that I'm using, and it's called ManyCam. And I think that's what Rich is talking about. ExpoCam, I think, is another type of virtual camera. But ManyCam would allow me to do some things here. Yeah, I don't have anything I can set up right now. So I'm sure, like if I want to go fade to black. Oh, here, what is it? I don't know what video is on here. Oh, that's funny. The Dan Bongino show. So I could play that video right here, and that's the Dan Bongino show. But that's set up on my virtual camera. If I want to come back to my camera, I just do that. And now I'm back on my desktop. So this is my desktop camera that you see here. And then let me go ahead and switch back to my Brio camera. And you may or may not see a little bit of a difference. And you see, yeah, there's a bit of a difference there. As you begin to play with cameras, you'll begin to see the difference between one camera and the next. Sometimes it doesn't matter depending on what your show is. But again, I just want to stay focused on, and Rich has great questions, by the way. But I'm going again back into a little bit of advanced mode, and you really don't need to know that much about virtual cameras yet. I will surely be telling you about those later on. And I think that the question about entering a very busy, crowded market is a really important reason to go live on StreamYard. And again, using your phone is simply the very first step, and just do that and keep it simple and go live using your phone, again, just on a tripod or a selfie stick, and get used to doing it and get used to talking to a camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close this one out, and that way I don't have to hear myself echoing. Hold on. There we go. And I can hear myself slightly in the phone. Maybe I'll hear it too. I'm going to get rid of that. So let's come back to just a couple things before I sign off here that I think are important for you to know as we go forward, because I really want you to pay I really want you to pay attention to these broadcasts when they come live. If you're watching in the book creator group, or you're on the business accelerator group Facebook page, or the group, I really want you to just kind of stop in every so often to see if there's something that we're talking about that may fit into what it is that you are trying to do and what you're trying to promote. Again, going live, it may not be the thing you're trying to sell. If you don't have sponsors, if you don't have people that are paying you to do live broadcasting, the live broadcast itself is not the thing you'll be making money from. It will be the speaking engagements that you get, or the traffic that you pull into a restaurant, for instance, or your gym, or to a bookstore that you have that carries old books or something like that. And you may want to do a live broadcast talking about the old books you have in your old bookstore, or your record store that has some of the old records, and play some of, a short snippet of some of those records you might have it without violating trademark laws and that kind of stuff. And really, you need to begin to think about, how is it that I can use live streaming to now encourage people to come into my store, considering what's happened with the pandemic. That may be one thing you're looking at. So let's look at some of the people that should be broadcasting. So who should be broadcasting live? Well, for sure, authors. I know that for sure, because you're going to want to talk about your book before you launch it. Talk about your expertise and your authority on one particular subject, or maybe that you have a nonfiction coming out or something like that, or a fiction book coming out that you want to talk about, and why you wrote it, how it came about, how the ideas came to you. And you're going to want to promote your book by going live on these platforms, maybe one platform or all the platforms that I suggested. So if you're an author, you're going to go live before you publish your book or before it launches, and then you're going to go live after your book to really sell that book and to sell yourself as a authority in that particular subject matter. Entrepreneurs, anybody in business should be doing Facebook to announce what it is that you're doing as far as a business. And I know many people thinking, well, you know what, this is really not my thing. I remember, I'll come back to my camera for 1 second. I remember one of the things that I love doing, and this is something you can do also, is that as my dog training company, what I would do is go to what's called Super Zoo. Super Zoo is a trade show in Las Vegas. It's one of the biggest pet trade shows in the world, where all the people that are selling dog food or dog treats or dog collars, dog leashes, dog pajamas, dog baby carriages, to reptiles and birds and what else? So they're hamsters and that kind of stuff, where everybody goes. It takes up every major room in Mandalay Bay, or it used to. And I would go there with my camera and a microphone, and I would interview people. And the reason I would do that is because what I would do is I would have them share the live interview with them on their social media. So let me think of one. There was a big shampoo company, something Mitchell. I forget what the name of the company is, but they were making a pet shampoo, and it's more widely known as a human shampoo company. Well, they had a big pet shampoo for dogs and cats Facebook presence. As a matter of fact, every state, I think that's the same company, they had a Facebook page for every state. So California, Paul Mitchell, I'm pretty sure it was Paul Mitchell. So Paul Mitchell had a Facebook page for every state, and every state had hundreds of thousands of people that were following on each one of those states. Well, when I interviewed the person that was there at the trade show, what they did is they shared the interview I did with their shampoo representative on every one of their Facebook platforms. Every one of them. And so I was able to use their platforms to promote Falco Canine Academy through the interview of their spokesperson. And they kept it on there for a very long period of time. As a matter of fact, if you were to scroll down, you probably could still find it if you scroll down far enough. But I had the opportunity. For me, going to a trade show in the dog training space to interview people that had a big social media platform, that was big for me because now I was able to broadcast free of charge on all of their social media platforms. That's one thing. The thing I was going to tell you about is there were a couple of people that I would go to and say, hey, do you mind if I interview you about your product? I can't think of one off a hand right now, but there was a couple out there. I think it was one of them was a food supplement in particular. They were just launching. They were just talking about this great new product. It had to do with seaweed, added to the dog food to help with their skin and coat and their immune system, right? And so I get up there and I say, hey, I would love to interview you about your product. It sounds great. I want to learn more about it. If we could set a time, and they go, you know what? I don't do that kind of thing. I go, what? You don't promote? You don't promote your product? Is that what you're telling me? And I said, no, we don't do that. We don't even know who you are. And I said, well, I've written 9 number 1 best-selling books. I've been on Animal Planet. I've been on Discovery Channel, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. I've been all the major networks. Cesar Millan and I did a show together called Love My Pitbull. And again, I've written a number of number 1 best-selling books. And so you can look on any of the social media. You could do a Google search and look me up. You can do an Amazon search and find my books. And then I'll come back. Well, no, we just don't. I just don't go live on camera. I go, how about if I record it and then we can put it up later if you don't like it? No, I don't record. I'm going, what? You don't understand. You don't promote your stuff. And so any entrepreneur, come back to here, any entrepreneur, let me just go back to this, should be promoting themselves on video. Video is one of the most effective ways for people to see what your product is, and you can talk about it. You can have people giving you testimonials. You can show what it actually does, and you can show before and afters. There's all kinds of things that you should do. So if you're an entrepreneur, you should do that. Now, I know restaurant owners are entrepreneurs. I know product creators are entrepreneurs, but some people don't. When you say entrepreneur, some people don't think of themselves as an entrepreneur. So that's why I add it. And then I also talk about other types of entrepreneurs. So don't think that I don't know what an entrepreneur is, in case you were wondering. But some people look at themselves as entrepreneurs, but then restaurant owners don't look at themselves as an entrepreneur. So I want to make sure and cover all the bases here. So restaurateurs, a restaurant should have their own live streaming show that they do every night, talking about specials that they are having, about some new recipes that may be having, or the hiring of a new chef that they could talk about, or how, if they have wine, maybe somebody comes on and talks about the wines that are available at their restaurant, or the new hors d'oeuvres that are making, or the pairings between a wine, maybe some of the new drinks, some of the new well drinks are making. A restaurateur, especially today, should be working on doing some type of live broadcast from their locations. Product creators, of course, and then anyone with an idea. So I tried to cover all the bases there on a very short a graphic that covered just about everybody. Anybody with an idea should be doing live streaming. I do a devotional with my wife now in the morning. Called a daily devotional. It's the Christian devotional that we do every day, and that simply is because we love the subject matter. Well, have we been getting requests to do other stuff? Yes. It really didn't start off that way. I just wanted to share a daily devotional that I was reading, and then it simply just has turned into something. We've been asked to join and partner up with other people in other Christian-based potential products. That's the best thing I can say right now. But it's getting the attention of people that are fairly famous in the world of podcasting and website creation. And so we've been asked already to do a couple things. And that just was off of an idea. All right. When I was talking about product creation, I'm going to share some tools that you're going to want to be aware of, because one of the things that I do with these live broadcasts when I'm teaching something is that I then take the recording of the live broadcast that I've done and I repurpose it into a training program. So make sure and understand that that's just not the live and you're done. You can actually do something with the recording of the live that you did. As long as it's something that's reusable and repurposeful, you can use a live broadcast if you've done some teaching and put it into a product and then sell it later. You can, but you don't have to delete it off your Facebook page. By putting it into a product, it just puts it in an easy to find platform that people will appreciate and actually will pay you some money for, as opposed to searching for your videos regarding something you taught, a month ago or 6 months ago or a year ago, that you take it and put it into a platform where people can now find it very easily. That is one thing that can be done. So those are the people that should be broadcasting live. And before I get off here, I just want to make sure and let you know about a couple things that I just want to now have you maybe put on your notes, or if you like to journal down these things, because if you don't need them now, you'll probably need them in the future. One of them I want to make sure and promote is our mastermind group, and that's called the Business Accelerator Group. If you want to Facebook and type in Business Accelerator Group, you'll find it. You'll find probably my picture or Everett O'Keefe or Verlinda Thompson. You'll find our picture and some of our group members on the Business Accelerator Group. We have a Facebook page, and then we have a private Facebook group that you may want to look more into. We have meetings every 2 weeks on Zoom. And then when things open back up, we'll go back to having our retreats. They're 3-day retreats in different places like Nashville and Aspen, Colorado. We've done them in Yosemite, in Carmel, and the places that we find. Nashville was a fantastic place. I was on a ranch, a horse ranch. It was beautiful. In Carmel, we did some amazing things. In addition to learning about businesses and the Business Accelerator Group, we also had some things that we did in regard to hiking and wine tasting and whale watching and some other stuff. So you're going to want to be part of this Business Accelerator Group. So make sure and look for that. And then getstreamyard.live is the URL you're going to want to use to find StreamYard, because that is my affiliate link. I would appreciate it if you would use that. GetStreamYard.live. Go there and then sign up for StreamYard so that you can follow along as I do the training on how to go live using StreamYard. Again, you don't have to use StreamYard, but I'm telling you right now that I have found it to be the best platform available for going live on all the different platforms all at the same time. Currently, I'm on 5 different Facebook pages, YouTube, and Twitter, all at the same time, broadcasting live. You may be watching this on Twitter. You may be watching this on YouTube, but understand that I'm also broadcasting live on Facebook. AndyIsLive.com is my training program where you get the basic, intermediate, and advanced. You get all 3 for one low price. I believe right now it's $49. And so you get all 3 for $49. That's an amazing deal, considering that each one of the levels has about anywhere from 7 to 10 videos currently, and it's growing in each one of the platforms. The advanced one is going to be the one that's most extensive. And so get in now while the price is low. That is AndyIsLive.com. Another great tool that I love is Repurpose. You're going to want to go to repurposevideonow.com. Repurposevideonow.com. Repurpose allows you to repurpose the videos after you've gone live, where you can download them, you can use them on other platforms, you can create snippets, you can do a whole bunch of different things. You can have them automatically upload to a podcast platform. You can have them automatically upload to Dropbox and to Google Drive. And Repurpose is one of my favorite tools. And then onlinegurudeal.com will send you to Kajabi. All those are affiliate links. And Online Guru Deal is it sends you to a link for great training using Kajabi. Kajabi is a platform that allows you to repurpose your live broadcast and your videos onto a digital online training program. Anything. Anybody that does anything, whether they're a gardener or a painter or a photographer, they all, some of the best people on the planet in these areas, have an online training program, and they're probably using Kajabi to do that. There's other platforms, but Kajabi I have found to be the best for me. All right, let's see who else is on here. Hey, Black Tina, why I can't comment RD show, it says comment hidden. I am not sure RDR TV show. It says, yeah, I'm not sure. There lately. Facebook has, if it's on Facebook, Facebook is doing some stuff now that I cannot quite explain. That comment has come up a few times, depending on some of the settings that you have, privacy settings, and that kind of stuff. Maybe keeping you from commenting on other platforms. Then as I broadcast in private groups and stuff like that, you have to give permission for that platform on Facebook to share your name and your picture. And then there may be just a setting that you are on right now that does not allow that to happen. I don't know. I may have to go through and make sure that my permissions on my side for people to comment on the live videos is available, because that's something also that changes from time to time. And this is one of the things about social media, is because things are changing constantly and so rapidly. It's really hard to keep up with all the different stuff. And so one of my jobs, I hope, is to help you with that stuff. So I will look into that, Black Tina, and see if I can't figure out why that's happening to you. And so those are the comments that we have currently. All right. Again, if you're watching the replay, make sure and subscribe wherever you're watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and then hit the bell so that you immediately get notified every time I go live on YouTube. You can go to my channel, which is theandyfalcoshow.com, theandyfalcoshow.com. That will take you to my YouTube channel where all my videos are shown. You may not like all the different subjects that I talk about, because on the Andy Falco Show, I talk about current events, so you can ignore those if you don't like them. If you do like them, then follow along with that one too. But you will see these shows on there too. What I'm working on right now is essentially having a network of different on one platform, so that I'm not all over the place. So it's an idea that I'm working with. I'm going to see how it's working, experimenting with a couple things. So forgive me as I experiment, because that's the only way I can find out how things work and don't work. And so I've been doing a little bit of that currently on my YouTube channel. So go to theandyfalcoshow.com. That will take you to my YouTube channel, and that's where all my different videos are currently found. All right. So I think that's it in regard to what I have for you today. And that is just to encourage you to really consider going live and broadcasting. The next thing is that consider using StreamYard. I believe StreamYard is one of the best platforms out there. Gage and Dan, who are the founders of StreamYard, are amazing guys out of Canada, and are doing an incredible job. And they're really responsive to the requests and ideas that people have on their Sunday show that they do every week. They're really responsive to ideas and suggestions. The only time they're not is when it may cause the platform not to be simple to use. And so you're going to want to understand that they want to stay within these boundaries of making StreamYard easy to use, but yet still professional, so that people, when they're using it, have a very, very professional look. All right, my friends, I hope this has all been helpful to you. And again, make sure and subscribe and follow and share and comment. If you're watching the replay, please make sure and comment. That way I know what it is that you where you're watching from and what it is that you want to hear about. Let me know what you want to hear about in regard to live streaming, whether it's on StreamYard or not. Ask me about the other platforms. You want to know about Be Live? I've used that. If you want to know about Zoom or Blue Jeans or the Facebook app on your phone, go ahead and ask me any question. I'll do my best to always try to find the answer. I won't BS you and make up an answer. If I don't know, I'll tell you, and then I'll let you know that I'm going to circle back. I'm sorry, I had to say that. I will come back. I will really come back and give you an answer, even if it continues to be, I don't know, because I can't find the solution. But in most cases, I'm able to find the solution or find somebody that knows the solution, and I will interview them and bring them onto the screen. All right, my friends, that's it for me on this particular show, and I will see you at the next one. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye.